What's up, the positive ones? This is my first time going live on YouTube. Maybe I should have gave y'all a warning. I don't know, but this is my first time, so hopefully this video saved once I stop it, cause I know everybody probably wasn't expecting me to go live. But anyway, so I got an announcement, and I wanted to talk about my road to striving for emotional availability. So the first announcement is my 10 day challenge was delayed because I told y'all I was sick. So now I am on I want to be starting up again on June 23rd. I'm waiting until after my birthday weekend because my birthday weekend is this upcoming week. So I know, I got a lot of stuff I'm planning. But starting June 23rd, I'm going to be getting back onto that challenge. So y'all stay tuned for that. I'm going to make sure I push through and make sure I wipe everything down before I get to working out, because that was tragic what I caught the first time I went to the gym. But anyway, um, so I wanted to just go over my journey really when it comes to being emotional available. Some of the ups and downs that I've been through. I know it's a lot of people out there that struggle with being emotionally available. Some people think they are emotionally available and they not. And so first, because of that, I wanted to kind of throw out there what I believe being emotional available is. And I feel that that's like being in touch with like your emotions, you know, understanding and responding to other people's emotions, forming and maintaining like healthy relationships, and being open and honest and vulnerable about your self and others, or whatever the conversation is about. Being present and empathetic, and creating like a safe place for people. You know what I mean? So, that's not easy to do, especially when you come from like a toxic background. You've been through like abuse, and some of the things that I've experienced is like, emotional, physical abuse, verbal, financial, and even spiritual abuse. I've had trust issues, feeling guilty because I hurt people, because hurt people hurt people. And a lot of those things that I experienced really gave me like anxiety, and it gave me like depression, low self esteem, and I struggle with being physically healthy. You know what I mean? And I feel like since I've been on that journey of trying to be healthy, I didn't always choose the right relationships that I enter, because I think that's a part of being on a healing journey, trying to figure yourself out. And with me trying to be emotionally available, I will I will I really craved being in the light, being positive, being emotionally available, because I dealt with being in a dark place, being around toxic people. I wanted to live a different type of life. I wanted to create a different type of environment for my kids. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want my kids growing up in a toxic household where they see their parents being abusive to each other, which is the reason why I chose to leave the relationship that I was in with their dad. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel along the way, I will accept emotionally unavailable people, which is the opposite in what I was trying to go in. I would push people away. I will accept people that didn't respect my boundaries. And I just was trying to understand a lot, understand what I wanted and what I needed. So I stopped being honest with how I felt with certain people, because it seemed like when I was candid, when I was real, it would push people away, and I would find myself being alone. And so I lost it. I stopped. I would just be kind of like complacent, and in order to keep people around, and that stressed me out because that's not who I am. I feel like when you love somebody, you keep it real with them. You tell them the truth, and y'all do that for each other. And so I started to lose myself. So now today I'm at a place where like I'm fighting to like regain that emotional availability. I'm starting to be honest again about keeping it real with people about how I feel because that's who I am. And if you don't like it, then you need to move. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I want you to do the same thing for me. And not only that, I can also be honest about my shit, my downfalls. You know what I'm saying? Cuz I'm not perfect. And I think that's the beauty of being in like with people that you feel safe with, people that don't reject you when you be yourself and be honest, people that you know that you don't fear that that's going to judge you, and y'all can sit there together and just be real with one another and open to improving and growing and understanding that I'm not perfect, you're not perfect. Yes, you did this to hurt me, and instead of you denying it or saying, "Oh, that didn't happen," or you tripping, or you throwing stones because all because you don't want to face yourself. I don't want to be in nothing like that where I feel like we can't be completely vulnerable with each other because and it comes with trust too because I'm not trying to hurt you. I trust you enough to know that you're not trying to hurt me. So this conversation is solely on safety. I'm telling you how I feel. You tell me how you feel. We come up with a solution and we move forward. And now we're growing and we're stronger and we're bettering ourselves as individuals. That's the type of relationship that I've been craving. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to friendships, relationships. And in order for me to get that, I have to be that. So I go I went into therapy. I'm in therapy. I talk to God. I created boundaries for myself. My solitude I have fell in love with so deeply. And since I fell in love with my solitude, y'all, I got like this peace. I feel more content. I feel like I'm not pressured to be in anybody's company just to have somebody there. I feel like I have like deeper conversations with people. I don't feel lonely. I appreciate like simple things. It allows me to recharge when I need to. You know what I mean? I'm doing great, Blue. Thank you for asking. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And I just hope that what I'm expressing, I know a lot of people can relate to this, and I just want y'all to know because sometimes when you going through stuff, it feel like you by yourself, and you not. It's a lot of people going through a lot of different things, a lot of different mental things that they trying to get through. They don't even know how to get through it because everybody around them struggling with the same thing. So it's like I had to go outside of that and seek therapy. And I would even look at podcasts of people that are made it out and what they did to make it out. And that's what anything that you striving for. So me being in my solitude has absolutely recharged me and really is getting me to a place where I'm taking care like of my well-being and stuff like that. And I just think that that's major for me. That's a major accomplishment for me to come from the abuse that I've been through, from wanting to take my life to being where I am now, to where I'm able to move past people if they not for me and still have love for them and still pray for them. because I know what I need. And I know what's going to carry me and what's going to encourage me and push me forward. And it's okay to have boundaries. Sometimes when you have boundaries, like for an example, when I first created my boundaries, it created a problem with me and my mom and my parents because they it's hard for people to accept a boundary when you put it out there, especially if they can't do and say certain things to you that they used to do and say. It's a hard thing, but you gotta stick to it because you worth that. And it could encourage other people to get on that journey with you, or you can very much watch their relationship go away and disappear. And that's what's painful. But to me, my boundaries is important because who I am is going to project onto my kids. And I have to break the cycle. So that's what my journey to getting to emotional availability has been like. I've lost a lot of um, relationships in every way. I've had to let go of the old Didi, which has not always been easy. People will look at me like I'm weird or like I think I'm better or whatever they think in their head. It's just me healing. You know what I'm saying? And I know who I am. And when you being gaslighted a lot in your life, you will second guess yourself quite a bit. But I feel good about it. And that's what matters. I feel like who I am and who I'm becoming is not just for me, but it's going to change the game for my kids and other people like my subscribers, you know? So I hope that this was helpful. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And anything that you can share with me, I'm always open to advice and any comments that you all have. We can bounce off each other because that's what it's all about, you know, helping each other along the way. All right. So y'all stay lifted. Y'all have a beautiful day and have a good week. All right. Stay lifted.